I used to have a serious spending problem. I'm talking hundreds of dollars on impulse buys, packages showing up at my door almost every day, and this constant nagging feeling of guilt. I was stuck in a vicious cycle: earn money, spend money. So, I put myself through a radical 21-day experiment to see if I could actually rewire my brain and finally get a grip on my finances. In just 3 weeks, not only did I save over $500, but I gained something worth so much more. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it. Let's be honest, my life as a spending addict wasn't glamorous. It was mostly just stress, boredom, and chasing that powerful, but very temporary, high of a new purchase. You know that little dopamine hit you get when you click buy now? That was my go-to coping mechanism. I'd scroll through online stores on my lunch break, convincing myself I absolutely needed another sweater or the latest gadget. The thrill was real, but it was always followed by that sinking feeling of guilt when the credit card statement showed up. My breaking point wasn't some big dramatic event. It was a quiet, crushing feeling one evening while I was staring at my bank account. The numbers just didn't add up. I was working so hard, but I had almost nothing to show for it. My financial future felt completely foggy, and I knew my daily habits were to blame. I realized I was just a passenger in my own financial life, and I desperately wanted to take the steering wheel. That was the night I decided things had to change. I committed to a 21-day no-spend challenge, a full-on financial reset. The plan was simple, but that didn't mean it was easy. For 21 days, I was only allowed to spend money on absolute necessities: rent, bills, and basic groceries. That meant no restaurants, no coffees, no fun, and absolutely no adding to cart. The goal wasn't just about saving a bit of cash. It was about understanding my triggers and finally building some self-discipline. That first week was brutal. My brain was practically screaming for its usual dopamine fix. The urge to just order takeout after a long day or grab a coffee on my way to work was huge. To fight it, I had to get creative. I started meal prepping, which not only saved money, but forced me to use the groceries I already had. I also found free ways to de-stress, like going for long walks and rediscovering old hobbies I'd forgotten about. In week 2, I came up with a new rule I called the anti-wish list. Anytime I felt that itch to buy something, I'd write it down on a list with the date. I promised myself I could look at the list again in 30 days. This simple act of delaying gratification was a total game changer. It created space between the impulse and the action, and 9 times out of 10, the overwhelming need for the item just vanished. I also unsubscribed from every single marketing email and unfollowed brands on social media that were tempting me. By week 3, something amazing happened. The constant nagging urge to spend just faded, and in its place was a new feeling, a thrill from not spending. I turned saving into a game. Every day, I'd transfer the money I would have spent, the $5 on coffee, the $20 on lunch, into a separate savings account. Watching that number climb was way more satisfying than any package arriving at my door. When the 21 days were up, I did the math. By cutting out all my non-essential spending, I had saved over $500. But the real change wasn't in my bank account. It was in my head. The experiment was a complete psychological reset. I had finally broken the emotional spending cycle and proved to myself that I was the one in control. Here are the 3 biggest lessons I learned that will totally change how you think about your money. First, so much of our spending is just a habit, not a real necessity. Most of what we buy is driven by our emotions, stress, boredom, or just needing a quick mood boost. By finding healthier ways to cope, you can break that link and stop using your wallet as a form of therapy. Second, awareness is everything. This challenge forced me to track every dollar and look my habits right in the eye. You can't change what you don't measure. Seeing all the numbers laid out in black and white is a serious wake-up call about where your money is actually going. And third, saving money can be even more addictive than spending it. The feeling of power and security you get from watching your savings grow provides a lasting sense of accomplishment, unlike the fleeting high from an impulse buy. You literally shift from chasing short-term pleasure to building long-term freedom. This 21-day challenge completely transformed my relationship with money. It taught me the difference between what I want and what I actually need, and it showed me that financial freedom is built one intentional choice at a time. It's not about deprivation. I went from feeling anxious and out of control to feeling empowered and genuinely excited about my future. If any of this sounds familiar, I challenge you to try your own no-spend period. It doesn't have to be 21 days. You can start with a week or even just a weekend. The point is to just press pause, reflect, and take back control of your money. Let me know in the comments what your biggest spending weakness is. Is it the daily coffee, the endless online shopping, or something else entirely? Let's share our struggles and support each other on this journey. If you want to see more videos like this one, please like and subscribe to stay in the know. See you soon!